Okay, so we're going to do our weekly learning of Likutei Moharan, and guess what? We're in the car again. Baruch Hashem! And we're going to do it in the schus. So we're driving through a lot of Arab areas in the Holy Land, and we're having in mind that we should have heavenly protection for all our soldiers in Gaza. And, you know, it's a big time right now. Beautiful view around here. Wow, this land is so beautiful and holy, and it's very, very appropriate that we're learning the Holy Rebbe, Rabbi Nachman, Likutei Moharan, Rabbi Nachman Nachman Simcha, Zechus Yagen Aleinu, someone who came to YISRAEL and tasted the Kedosha and had aliyahs like beyond our understanding, had amazing madrigas and Torahs that were revealed in the merit of coming to YISRAEL. And we get the merit to live here and drive around here. And we're going to a special wedding, which we're going to bring up. It's Nissim Black's Ben Bias, his name's Dovid Emmanuel, and Nissim Black and Adina Black have taken responsibility. They're Abba and Ve'ima. They're the father and mother on the wedding invitation. Would you do something like that? Take on that kind of responsibility? It's like as if, you know, and he literally taken on the financial responsibility, and you know, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and we don't take for granted that we have people in our life who are wow, this is just so beautiful. Can't believe how beautiful this is over here. Wow. It's just the more we're driving, I wish you guys we'll post it on our platforms or whatever, the day, the clouds, the sky, the open hills over here. There's so much land in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, we're sitting with someone who knows all about property. This is like gold mines of property and diamonds. Oh, it's just stunning, no? That is just stunning. Wow, it's like heavenly views. And we're not even got to where we're going. We're going to Ashkelon. There's a beautiful seaside, and that's where the wedding is. Apparently it's beautiful there. And what's nice about it, it's also, wow, a doira. This is where we just drove past. What a view they have here. Wow. Anyway, so we're going to be by the beach, and we're going to see the Mediterranean, the Yam HaGadol. We have to thank Hashem for all these moments of learning. And one of the things we're mentioning as well is whoever's listening and from Shirat David, please come to the Shirat David Shavuot program between 0:00, meaning midnight rabbi style. I'm going to be doing a shir with a few other chevra. We're all going to have a turn for Rosh Shlomo's spot. So I welcome anyone to come join my shir. Have a very special Torah. We already mentioned a little bit in the Tanya shir some of the concepts. But it will be the full thing, and the special night of Shavuot, Kabbalas Torah. That's coming up this week, B'midbar Sinai. I mean, we're driving in Eretz Yisrael. This is far from a midbar. People used to talk about Eretz Yisrael as like a desert. It's luscious, it's filled with life, and it's being rebuilt, and Baruch Hashem. So in the mirror of our learning also, we should have lots of shefa, lots of bracha, lots of atzlacha in everything we're doing, a lot of nachas from our children, and shalom bayis. And maybe the shalom bayis is first, because you know it goes together. Okay, so here we are. So we were talking about this idea of our speech and how we want to have devekas. Part of devekas we mentioned tefillin. Tefillin brings us to the level of devekas, and that means becoming one with Hashem and joining with Hashem and His Shechina. And then we also mentioned about the speech, the Malchus Peh, and that's a big part of the Sphira now. We're in Mamish, the Sphira of Malchus. Today is Gevurah Shabbat Malchus. Tonight will be Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Everyone should be saying the Shlach Kodesh, special tefillah, and that's for Hinuch and for Panasa. We should be Zocher to all those things, and it's all to do with how tefillah, Malchus Peh, the Shlach Kodesh is bringing it out at this time of year, and we Tefer Shabbat Malchus tonight. The beauty of kingship, how we speak. Think about it. All the kings, it's all to do with how they communicate. That's what gives them the power. Yeah, wow, we're surrounded by soldiers here. Thank you to their service, keeping us safe over here in this area, in between all the Arabs and everything. Pretty amazing where we're driving past. Yeah, good man. Ari's giving a thanks to the soldiers. So it says, Bechinas Ruach Sa'ar Oitzi Devara. So the problem is, if we don't speak properly, we get this Sa'ara, this storm winds. Sha'osim mitaknim es hadiba ma'alim es bechinas ruach. So then we elevate this aspect of the ruach sara. So we explained last time, it's a very deep concept, but the reish ayin osius, the reish ayin is, why is it reish ayin? Because 27. How many osius are there in Aleph base letters? 22. Aleph to Taf is 22 letters, and there's 5 end letters, which 5 plus 22 is 27, and the 27 times 10, because you have the 10 vowels, the shirik and all that, the u and the a, so that the chatach, all that, patach, all that, 10 of them, tied to 10x the 27 letters, you get 270, which is reish ayin, which can be friend, wake up, re, or wake up, air, but it also can be ra, bad, and it's also part of the word of sa'ara, which is a storm. Storm it begins with a samach and ends with a hey. Hey and samach is the gematria 65, which he says here in the underneath part is the shem adnus, Aleph Daled Nun Yud, and together with the 27 is sa'ara. So the dinim, the judgment form of Hashem expressing himself through adnus, through malchus, the nighttime, that comes together through the speech being not done the right way, and that brings you into a Sa'ara storm. So obviously you can bring it back, you can elevate it, bring it back to Kedusha. Ruach Sarach Hazeh, Hu Mekatrik HaGodol. This is a quite heavy lashon here, and we need to talk this out. This is a tremendous, you know what Kitrik means? It means a prosecution. We should never know such things. But unfortunately on Am Yisrael, as we know, this last few years, and maybe even beginning with Corona as well, there's been a kitrug, there's been a tremendous prosecution on people. What happened October the 7th was prosecution on Am Yisrael. What's happened, the fact that we're still in this war and the hostages are not all home, and please God they should come home soon, we should win this war. But until then, there's a prosecution. It's not allowing us to finish off the job. We even see it manifest in how the nations, not all of them, Baruch Hashem, a lot of the nations know the truth, like Douglas Murray, people like that. But there's a lot of people out there who don't know, and they're saying shtiyot, they're saying lies about us, to the point where they're even funding Hamas, our own enemies, they're funding terrorists. So that's a prosecution against us, manifesting. And that's on a ruchnius level as well. On a spiritual level, there's a prosecution, You have to always try to be careful to sweeten all the judgments. You shouldn't have any prosecution on you. Like, how do we do it in a practical sense? We make sure we pay our taxes on time. Shalom. Toda rabah. We have to pay our taxes. Like even in Eretz Yisrael, like I'm sure you have your tax story in America, but you have it also in Eretz Yisrael. You have to pay your B'tuach Leumi, the social, whatever it's called. You have to pay it all. You pay it all. You have an accountant to guide you how to do it, and then you get rid of any prosecutions that come your way. I remember once one of my artists, he had a huge booking. Thank God I wasn't the one involved in it, and he went to the airport and they wouldn't let him fly because he hadn't paid his bill. And by the time he paid him his flight, so he missed that whole booking, and that was thousands of dollars, thousands. They had to bring in Get Out Buzz to replace him. But it was a very big, problem, because it was a very big opportunity, and all those people involved were not happy. And that meant he had to take care of business beforehand, be on top of your books. And it's very important to make sure you do that. And it's something which I've always been very strong about with the accountants, make sure they're seeing everything I'm doing. And that's getting rid of the prosecution, but that's on a practical level. On a ruchnius, we have to do the same thing. Get rid of the averis, get rid of the judgments on a person, on Am Yisrael. We're all be'emes Tinnik and Nishpa. We don't really have full das nowadays. Let's make a limit schus. We're really a generation, we're surrounded by so much craziness. I was talking about it before. How much free time do you really have, honestly, to actually learn Torah? No, but you don't really. Why? Because you have business pressures, you have Shalom Bayis Pehina pressures, you have the Eitzah driving you mad on the phone, chasing you to waste your time,
Yes.
So there's a lot of limit schus, a lot of ability to judge yourself positively. You don't put as much time into learning, because we're in a generation where when you do learn, it's a big deal. Look, we have to go, like you and me, like go out on a mission, and then we get this focused time to learn. What happens if a call comes? So that it can come, and then you're like, chas v'shalom. So we have to ask Hashem to give us the merit to be able to learn. That we should merit to have that time every morning and night to learn a little bit, the afternoon on the way to learn. But But that's the thing out there. There's a big kitcher, God forbid, lo aleinu, Hashem shreinu, shemeinu boim, kolam akadrim, hanisyonis, and all these prosecutions and tests. V'acha devarim. It's the lashon of acha devarim. After these things, that's the lashon the Torah use. Shu yonik medibo. It all gets its nourishment from dibo. Would you believe that? The whole power of all the prosecutions come from how we use our speech. So we really have to wish only good upon people. Anyone we've ever spoken about, they should all be blessed. We judge them positively. They should have everything they need. They should have Sata D'Shmai to sort out all their issues. All the people we ever talk about, we should be very careful to only wish them good and only speak good. We have to be very careful, I had a funny conversation with Shlomo. I was asking about someone, because it's to do with my music business. They phoned me up, they wanted to meet up in Yerushalayim. They've got quite a big following. So my wife, I always give it to my wife. I showed her a few YouTube videos. She said, yeah, he looks good, you can meet up with him. Like, she's like my rabbi when it comes to this stuff. But I want to double check with Rav Shlomo, who knows everybody. So I asked Rav Shlomo Katz, and he messaged me, said, I don't know enough to tell you. I know who he's friends with, but I don't know enough to tell you. He said, I don't know enough. So I said, well, perfect. Yeah. I said, that's amazing. I said, what does he mean? I said, you don't know enough. I also don't know enough. I said, that is the perfect preparation for Kabbalah Torah. Once you know you don't know enough, so he laughed. He thought that was funny. But anyway, the point is that we have to fix up our speech. Don't just be so quick to say stuff about people. It's also whatever. Like right now I have someone actually telling me stuff about someone in a place in America. And they're telling me stuff like, and it's all public stuff, unfortunately, but they know stuff behind the scenes also. And there's a person behind them who also, and they're telling me, and I'm like, I don't know, I said to him, like, it's painful for me to get involved with this. I mean, I'll talk to him about it because it's tailors for him to let off the steam, and unfortunately I have seen myself some of the issues, with my own eyes. It's not like it's just Pasha Lashon Hara. It's like there is tailors here, but it's painful to go into those sugyas. And he says there's a lot of rabbis coming out against him now and this and that, and I'm like, I just want to stay away from this stuff. It's painful stuff, what I'm talking about? When people have these kind of stories, you don't really want to spend your half an hour in discussion with someone, on a nice day, talking about all the things they've done wrong. It's not like, and you don't want to be that prosecuting force. So speech is very important. Shiyonik mediba, all the negativity, all the judgments, all the prosecution, it gets its energy from the bad speech. Yeah, like what's been happening at Sol, when there's people who come out against Bibi and they talk all this Lashon Hara and they lie. These people, it's a big cheshbon because they're feeding the prosecution forces. Yeah, and I heard Judas Michel talk about it on the Relatable podcast. I might go on that podcast one day. I heard him talking about it, and he was saying very strong, he has to daven not to say a machshama on these people, because he doesn't want to say that on a Jew. You don't want to wish them destruction, yeah. But it's very hard when you hear how negative they are about their own people. Yeah, we're in a war. You should be together. Ba'achdas, what are you talking about? Yeah, so it's very hard to work on it very much, daven on it. My Rebbe himself would say you can't really say a machshama on Yidden, no matter how about. He used to say about what's his name? No, the famous guy, whatever. Probably better I don't say his name. Anyway, but that guy, he said he doesn't say machshama on him. He's got his limits. His father went through the Shoah. They've got their stories. It's not just he didn't come out like this because he's inherently bad. It's just it's a nisyonis. So we have to get rid of the nisyonis. We're not speaking bad. Kamotzi Pesach leyonik. We don't want to open up this doorway for the other side to take power. All these nations, all these people. You see what's going on online. Most of the time, who are they quoting when they've got bad stuff about us? Who are they quoting? They're not quoting Douglas Murray, that's for sure, because he's on our side. Who are they quoting? They're quoting Yidden, who have issues with us, with our own people. That's where the main problem comes from, our own people, how we speak. Hainu lepetach chatos. So it opens up the gate for sin. That's where the sin's hanging out, at the mouth, how we speak. Siv, shoma, paschei, guard the gate, picha, of your mouth. That's what the Torah says, yeah? Shekasa Bazar, V'yachad Varim Elokim, Nasa Etz Avram. Because it's the famous Zohar, and it's a famous part of davening that we say every day. V'yachad Varim. What happened after these matters? Hashem tested Avram. And the Zohar says that was all to do with the prosecution that came down. Who was it prosecuting? YITZCHAK. Yeah, we're in that Akedas YITZCHAK right now. Every son every child we send to fight in the battle in Gaza, like my son there, his name's BORUCH YITZCHAK, yeah, Ben MASHA should be Gazan.
I thought about that.
Yeah, it was a prosecution on Am Yisrael that are you willing to give everything up? And today is Gavurish B'Malchus, and I wrote this on my Sphira when I put it out, because it's the 44th day of Sphira, which is Dam, Gematria Dam, with their own blood. They gave up their blood, literally. They didn't eat, drink. They were dirty. They were living in houses. They were fighting for their lives for a year and a half. Now his unit's gone back into Gaza.
And
they should have Shemir Eliyahu. They should not have to give up their blood, mamish, in terms of Chas Shalom.
They took a very high level too. YITZCHAK said, "Where's the ram?"
Yeah.
Right. These soldiers didn't say, "Where's the ram?" These soldiers said, "I am the ram."
Right.
I'm going. This is my mission.
100%.
Very interesting.
It's even higher in some way. So you're right. Okay, he says we are the door of the Ketzos and beyond. We're the ones who will be Zok to Moshiach. That's what was Gilui after Yaakov Avinu, because it says by there the same oasis as Yaakov. There's loads of Giluim over there where after Ketzos Yitzchak Hashem, it was the final test for Avram Avinu, and like myself, a similar bonim. So it was like what happens to Avram Avinu happens to us. So that final test for Avram was before the test before Mashiach. It's the same kind of test, and that's the test that's happening now, and therefore Avram was able to overcome it, but he had to do it with complete persistence. So we're fixing up all the kitrugim by speaking positively about the soldiers, davening for them, honoring them, giving them the respect they deserve, praying for them. I mean, so I was praying for the hostages, praying through prayer, through learning, through what we're doing now, through talking good about Klai. So this will be the power to overcome all these tests, and will give us the ability to get to Mashiach. So it's a big part of this process that we're in right now. It's a very appropriate Torah, and it says V'hu Misah Gufa Devanosh. So this is a little bit hard lashon, but it basically what happens, there was like a weakening of the body, like a trembling on the body, kol mileshinis haras shadovrim, and all the bad things that these negative forces were saying about us, about these people, about Avram Avinu. They were saying, the negative forces saying, look, you're not really in it for the real thing, you're not really serving Hashem Lishma. And he had to prove it for a Kedis Yitzchak. So, we're in this. This is real. We've proven ourselves now. Really, we should be Zok to Mashiach already, in my opinion. Yeah, we've done everything we need to do. Rav Shlomo's been talking about his Mashiach share. All we have to do is pull away the hand. Mashiach should be here already, because we've done the Mesiras Nefesh. Yeah, every parent of every soldier and every friend of every parent, and everyone has helped each other. What we're doing now, this wedding now, it's Mesiras Nefesh. Nissim Black could be working in the hip hop business. He's busy here and there, so making a wedding for a ger. Wow, helicopter's really low. Yeah, this is what Am Yisrael doing here. Yeah, it's amazing, huh?
It's going right to Gaza right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, look, Gaza's right here.
Wow, we're right next to Gaza. Yeah, we're driving right next to Gaza. We're heading towards that area. So this is all real. This is all in real time. We're making a wedding right next to Gaza in Ashkelon, and it's Mesiras Nefesh when Nissim's done. That's why we're taking the time out to honor the Chosin and honor Nissim Black. One of the things I feel proud about, that all I've done all my life in Yiddishkeit in Eretz Yisrael, other than when I worked a few times for corporate, and even that was it was Panasa, and I even found mitzvahs over there. I always managed to find mitzvahs wherever I worked. There was always learning and davening and connections to the neshamas who I still have connections with. But Nissim Black was like obvious mission-based avoda, working with him, helping him get his light out to the world. We're going to be going to Düsseldorf, we're going to get a message out to German Jews and beyond German Jews. I haven't been to Germany ever in my life. It's the first time I'm going. I've probably flown over there, but I'm going with Nissim Black. We're going to bring light there. There's Hashem. There's the helicopter flying in. It's flying towards Gaza. Amazing. That is unbelievable. Good catch. So anyway, so this is real time, what's going on and what we're learning about. And it's the storm winds. These storm winds, we have to quiet the storm. We mentioned last time, like Hisbodedus and connection to Hashem. Anyway, so now here, all these negative talks that's going on from our people that hate us, all Odom, or Meruach, all comes from these storm winds. Ma'acha Devar Mazek, Hi Bechinas, Kates Kol Basa, shows the Kates for so for the Kol Basa. So what destroys man? What destroyed man in the Mabul, really, when it comes down to it, is speech being misused. And we see how much it's a challenge. I'm very into the comedy world, and I'm starting to get into a little bit in the Panasa side of it as well. But the problem is, there's so much swearing and so much racism, so much litzonos. It's not an easy world to find a Kedusha there. There are Jewish comedians who do a good job, But it's a hard space to bring out the Kedusha. I'm still in the beginning of my work with it, but I do feel that I'll have some sort of tough kid there. I did put on a gig in Tel Aviv last summer, and I am speaking to a comedian about doing something this summer. I was meant to actually have a meeting today. I forgot to phone the guy about booking it. But anyway, the point is, I'll get to it, Bez Hashem. It will happen in the right time. But it's a hard space to fix up the speech when you're doing comedy. It's a hard space, but I know that we have to fix that area as well. Comedy also needs holiness. Because it literally caused the end of the flesh by not speaking properly. It's called Adam L'chaf Chova. And the problem is, with every person there's judgment, and there's the Chaf Chova. There's the side, when you have the on Tishrei we have these two, what are they called? The measuring, the equilibrium, what's it called? Scales.
Scale, yeah.
So you have the scales, the scale of zchut, of merit, or the scale of guilt, God forbid. Yeah. Chokrim Tamid. So the problem is, if a person's constantly judging someone very, very specifically, he's liking into all his actions very strong, then that causes judgment on that person. So it's very important. Rabbi Nachman's very much into limit schus, to find the nekudas tovas. You have to work hard on that. I have a sefer called Dan L'chaf Schut, a whole sefer just on that, from one of my rebbes, and he say just as much you have to work hard at Panasa, and you work hard to fight court cases, and you have to work hard to learn Talmud and really figure out the Daf Yomi right now, Shavuos. It's very hard to really figure it out. That's how hard you have to go. That's how hard you have to work with judging people positively. It takes a lot of work to judge people positively. It's not just the naturally you are going to tend towards judgment. You have to flip it, and just like you're talking about flipping properties, you have to flip people and see the good and see the potential and build them, not break them, not destroy them. That's the way we have to go. Hey mechinas kates kolbasa kamosha kosav kates sham lachoshech lachol tachlitu. So it's the way we choker. Choker is like chakira. The way I once went to B'tuch L'mi and they did a chakira with me. It was very hard because they were evaluating why I'd applied for some sort of leniency B'tuch L'mi when I'd had an accident. My accountant did it by mistake. It was a lower, a smaller employee. My accountant made the mistake and applied for something they shouldn't have, and I ended up getting brought into chakiras. They asked me all these questions, but what I did was, when the guy went out of the room, it was 2-3 pages, I took a picture of all his writing. It was written brilliantly, like the whole court case. I took amazing pictures of it while he went out of the room, came back, and I was like, yeah, and he said, yeah, no, I believe you, I trust you, you can go. And I took those pictures and I used them in the court case to help me win the court case, because he wrote it down like a proper choker. That's his job. So he wrote it down brilliantly, and that was a good move. That literally won me a settlement. So anyway, but the point was, you can turn around the choker into something positive. That's what I did in that case. Shu choker tamid lasos tachlis kalichol dava loradin, and we end up with all these, God forbid, all these kitchuchim. So Rabbi Nachman goes on to say that obviously the fixing of Dibor is obviously to come to the positive. This is Shavuos, Rus. Yeah, who was in Rus? Boaz. What did Boaz do? He saw this Moabite woman working on his land, some ani, ma'od, and he brought out the good from her. What came out from her? He said Shalom Aleichem to her, he wished her bracha. What came out from this Pashta woman taking the tithes on his land? Came out Melech Mashiach. So Mashiach comes out dafka from when you use speech right, when you give chizuk to someone who doesn't look so amazing, and you see the potential in them. He ended up, getting together with her now, bringing down the soul of Mashiach. Yeah, so come out from Boaz and Rus, came out Mashiach from such a low zivug, from such a seemingly low connection, that she was working the land. Imagine that. You see some lady working your land. And why did he end up having interest in her? Because she was sneer. She was proper, she was careful, and there was a connection through Dibor. He spoke to her positively. That's the big thing. He said nice things. That's what a woman needs. A woman needs us to speak positively to her. We say stupid things, like I made a joke to you on the way. Like, you say stupid things, it's like you get one of those looks from, you don't want to say the right things. Yeah, you have to give them chizuk and encouragement, how beautiful they are, how much you're going to miss them. Like, we have that power to samech. Anyway, we'll end off. Should be zoch to beautiful chasna, beautiful pashas b'midbar, and bezoch Mishasem to bekabel the Torah b'shleimus, and Mashiach Sekenu, and bezoch to speak good, and it will be good, and think good and track good, and please God will be only by simchas. Amen. Amen. Thank you for the learning. You take the phone call now?
I don't need to.
You don't need to. Anyway, I think we did good. It's a nice 25-minute share, driving through these beautiful places. Thank you Hashem for this drive, and thank you Hashem for the Torah Kedosha. That's also, we should thank Hashem, say good words to Hashem. He also wants to show our appreciation. Thank you Hashem, we get to learn clarity of how to use speech to fix up the Sahara, the storm, and bring down this beautiful weather that we're experiencing today. Driving to Ashkelon, the simplest. Amen. Okay, should be Masliach. Turn off the share. Thank you. Share it on. Share on the light. Don't take it for granted.